friend warned me. He warned me. Hello, Weebly-Bets. This is OK Weeb, and welcome to the first installment of Annoying Character Case File, where I rant, mock, and yodel about a character in the animation medium who I personally find annoying. Not universally annoying, personally annoying. Like, that's gonna make a difference. Have you heard of a series named ReZero? I've heard of a series named ReZero. I hope you did, because we're gonna waltz our way through the isekai of game resetting and extreme salad tossing. ReZero is an isekai fantasy about a guy, Natsuki Subaru, who gets isekai'd into a new world and discovers that he has the power to die and reset, something he coins Return My Death. Now, do I like ReZero? I do. It is an isekai unlike any other, and though it has some common isekai tropes, it still stands out from the rest. I can't deny that. The writing is solid too. Well, for some. But this video wouldn't be a thing if I thought the character writing was top-notch, cream of the crop, donut glazing material. Let me stop stalling. I don't like Emilia.
Beat that bitch ass.
Go ahead, curse my name. It won't change my opinion. For some reason, a good chunk of female characters in anime aren't all that compelling, especially compared to their male counterparts. I wish I could say that weren't the case, but it's the case. And it's a shrug your shoulder reaction at this point because everyone's used to it. But this video isn't some obnoxious feminist subliminal of men bad, women good, and I'd rather munch on glass than ever think of becoming a feminist. But this video is about this girl who they call
Emilia Major.
I tried my damnedest to like her. I really did. I'm not friend. I did. But it was a legit tug of war going on. But to know how she became EMT and a character I considered a blight on the story, we'll start from season 1. We're first introduced to Emilia, where she saves Subaru from a gang of hoodlums at the start of the series. You can tell she's the main heroine with what I call the main girl Gus, when that comes from complete nowhere at the first introduction to tell the audience which girl we should pay attention to. She waits for Subaru to wake up, and after an awkward exchange, Subaru vows to help her find her lost valuable as a repayment for her help. Okay, I did not start off disliking Emilia. I just wasn't too interested in her. Yeah, she's cute, but so are 99% of other anime girls. Yeah, she's nice, but there are 100 million girls who are the exact same. Yeah, she's got that silver hair, but there are other, better characters with silver hair. She has the Satella mystery behind her where she tells Subaru her name is Satella, but denounces the name quicker than any divorcee. She basically looks exactly like a witch who destroyed half of the world 400 years ago because of a pebble in her shoe. And the witch just so happens to be a silver-haired, purple-eyed half-elf just like Emilia. So apparently, and I say apparently because we're going to touch back on this later, she is discriminated against because of her appearance to the witch Satella. That's a pretty interesting mystery, something to look out for. I didn't think much of her, but it was the beginning of the series and the show was just getting started, so let's give it time. Arc 2 came, and really, the only noteworthy thing she did was give Subaru a lap pillow, which I do commend her for that. I mean, getting a lap pillow from your ideal waifu will heal any person's body and soul. While she got help from the floating sewer rat, she put her foot forward and said, I'm a help dude. Because, as we all know, Subaru was fighting demons. Literally. It was a mess. A dude straight cried and maybe drooled all over her lap. A guy she's only known for 5 days? Now, during this time, Rum was creeping on my radar. It didn't take kind to her at first. Both her and her twin sister Rum were heavily obnoxious and dragged Subaru like it was a pleasant pastime. When she tortured the guy, my dislike for her didn't increase really, because I understood why it was on site for her when it came to Subaru. Her and Rom's backstory made me dial back on my middle finger sentiments towards her. I kind of understood where she was coming from because I too have been living my life for someone else out of guilt and not so other good emotions, but that's neither here or there. So yeah, not much from Emilia in Arc 2. Arc 3 came along, and we found out Emilia is a candidate running against 4 other fodder for the throne, and here my opinion started to teeter. Emilia felt mature to me in this arc, and it appeared that the racism side of her character was taking effect, especially when she got booed off the stage after giving her bona fide Marxist speech. And after Subaru came and made things entirely worse,
We're gonna move it like this. What the hell? And then you're gonna spin around 2 times on your toes.
she somewhat humbled him. I say somewhat because she wasn't entirely in the right, no matter how much the story tries to gag you into thinking otherwise, and cut him off. I was pleasantly surprised at this. It showed that Emilia can have a backbone and wasn't going to take Subaru's shit. It had me appreciating her more, that she wasn't going to be the bare minimum main heroine. And then Rem came and she remmed so hard she ramified the whole of Japan, and then she ramified the globe and even ramified me. After I've been affected by the ramification, Emilia faded into the background for me again. And yeah, that's due to the story barely focusing on her, but oh Christ, did this scene not help. Subaru comes, obviously in distress, obviously in anguish. He's talking fucking crazy, granted, but Emilia looks at him and asks this.
どうしてスバルはそんな苦しそうに泣いてるの
Bitch, is you retarded?
Like, what happened to the emotional intelligence that people bragged about and I kind of saw in Arc 2? Did it just suddenly turn off? Later on in the season, she becomes proactive in trying to protect the village. Good on her and stuff. So that's why it confused me when in season 2, the story states that she's not proactive and she doesn't have a backbone and she has no agency. When I saw the clear opposite from season 1, like, where did these issues come from? I can agree with that she's too naive, but the series doesn't treat that as a bad thing, rather as a cute trait. Like, I like the fact that we got to see a different side. We got to see her afflicted with anxiety and fear, and we got to see her past. I really did like it, but the first part of season 2, I was more interested in Subaru's plight than Emilia's. Subaru being a suffering wreck is required anyway. Was also more interested in Roswell being a manipulative nutcase and wanting to make a mini-me out of Subaru. Also, didn't like how Emilia gaslit Subaru here a little. Like, I understand you don't want to run away from your problems and you don't want to be pitied, but you didn't have to accuse the man of not trusting you, especially when he's been your biggest supporter. Maybe dollared you for a split second, then snapped right back into being your biggest cheerleader. I also thought you wanted to free the people being held hostage by this shit, not make yourself feel good. And how oddly specific and coincidental that the trials have to be completed by a demi-human. And I'm really not sorry, but Reason to Believe felt so cheap to me. Subaru calling Emilia out was a joke, like a literal slap on the wrist. You know that weird-ass trope where someone's having a mental breakdown and the other person just kisses them and bippy-boppity-boo, the person's A-okay? Well, that's what happened. And it was hella obvious that Subaru kind of plagiarized Rum's confession and botched it. That's why he started to spam I love you to Emilia, who was too busy, I don't know, losing it and treating you like a doll. You're lambasting Subaru for that when you had no objections for the phallic-shaped twat who has been doing that to you for the majority of your life. Not one complaint for the guy who had no qualms doing it, but the guy who did it had a plot epiphany and concluded that it was wrong you got the flames for. And what's with all this bitching about promise keeping? You guilted him into such a ridiculous promise. And Subaru probably would have kept that promise if he didn't need his daily dose of simp injection. There's this thing with Emilia where she cherishes promises and That's tied into her backstory with Fortuna and all that. Emilia dislikes when people breaks promises, and Arc 4 framed it as an obsession that Emilia should get rid of. But it didn't fully commit to criticizing her of it. We got why she's big on promises. But what are we getting from that? Are you admonishing her rigid promise keeping or not? Because if you are, then it's poorly done. And if you're not, then par for the course. Par for the course because in Arc 3, during Subaru and Emilia's fight, the series tried to make it so deep on why Emilia ditched Subaru, just for it to circle back to Subaru hurting Emilia's feelings and breaking her promise. But if he didn't break her promise, she would be dead. But let's toss that out the window, because if we acknowledge that anymore, it'll be leaning too far into Subaru being actually right. The logic really only applies to this specific situation, then outside. So what are we getting from this? This scene was just over the top and melodramatic as hell, and Subaru's superficial ass confession just shows that the relationship lacks emotional weight. And before someone makes a fool of themselves in the comments, I know that he was adamant about her looks because of how she hates her appearance, because she looks like Satella and yada yada yada. But when most of your confession is about her looks, that just doesn't sit right. Subaru doesn't understand Emilia as a person. And he still doesn't. Post Arc 4. And like Subaru fixed her instead of Emilia moving forward. But hey, isn't that the running gag of ReZero? She straightens up after swapping spit with Subaru, passes the trials in Free Sanctuary. Yay! But the way it happened just did not interest me. Also, I just liked the reason why she couldn't remember her past and had a hard time dealing with it. Instead of humanizing her with the reasoning she was acting under emotional trauma, mentally blocking out Puck because of how scared and overwhelmed she was, and suppressing those haunting memories she didn't want to face, it was Roswell's fault.
Jinkies!
So, Roswell, somehow, tampered with Emilia and Puck's contract, casting the spell of Child Protective Services that actively blocked Puck from appearing. Puck, the only one who can unseal Emilia's memories, and did unseal them when he broke the contract, through Subaru's interference, by the way. So it wasn't Emilia that deduced that Puck had something to do with her memories and blocked him out because she wants to escape said memories. It was Roswell's interference. Boo! Why couldn't you just make it her fault? Season 2 was supposed to be about Emilia's development. But I had more interest in everyone else but Emilia. Hello! Emilia crying longer than an average commercial break? Eye-roll inducing. Her trying to be authoritative towards a broken Roswell who gives not a fuck about what she's saying. Cringe. Cringer. This was pretty cute. But this wasn't.
って言ってくれたでしょ？
はい、言いました。好きです。超好き。
それは、すごく嬉しいんだけど。でも、だから、やっぱり、ちゃんと話しておかなきゃって。私の、お腹の赤ちゃんの話を！でも、男の人と女の人がチューしたら、赤ちゃんができるんでしょ？
While I do understand that she was sheltered for half her life, this still wasn't needed. Now you just made this bland ship even weirder because Subaru's in love with someone with such a kindergartner mindset to think babies come from kissing. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying you didn't need to do this particular thing to show that she's extremely sheltered. This feels like a born sexy yesterday trope for real. It's the straight opposite of cute. Emilia didn't grip me in season 2 because her story frankly didn't interest me. I didn't feel like, wow, this is a fleshed out dynamic character. It just felt like I had to pity her. And that I must root for her, not because I actually want her to overcome her issues, but because she's the main heroine and it's her time to shine. The villagers could have showed their racism. They didn't. We could have seen Ramen or Otto passive-aggressively pressuring her to pass the trials. Nada could have shown the people who are stuck their struggles, highlighting that while Amelia is going through a rough time, she's simultaneously being selfish, showing the true duality of the situation. Nope. And at the end, while that dance between Subaru and Emilia was pretty nice, it just seemed, in my opinion, she passed the dependence torch from Puck to Subaru. I didn't scream screw it yet, though. I watched Frozen Bonds and, yep, that didn't help. At least I saw some of the racism the story keeps informing me instead of showing me, but the village didn't interact with her much, so racism? Yeah, they sold her out, but it was definitely not due to racism. Let's be realistic here. Save a random girl in the forest who can do this to me if she so much as sneezes? Or save my village from getting pillaged? Tough choice. Isn't fear a form of racism? Not in this case. Fear is a factor to racism. But if the people have a valid reason not to like you, how can that be called racism? Who's everyone? The village of max capacity 20 people? And don't tell me about those dorks she encountered. First, they were there to enslave her. Two, they're being assholes because she's a demi-human, not because she looks like the Witch of Envy. Like, seriously, who's hating on her? She was in the forest majority of the times. And then when Roswell scooped her up, she remained cooped up in the mansion most of the time. So who the hell is really hating on her? Who's going around, you damn half-devil, what are you doing in our city? Who's going around lying their ass off? Sorry, we don't sell to demi-humans. As an excuse to not have her at their stall or restaurant. They isolate herself on purpose because she knows people don't like her for her looks and she doesn't want to cause trouble like she did with the last village. Well, you know how people say that you can't generalize? A lot of people love to say that you can't generalize things. So, Amelia, you can't generalize off of one village because look, the second village you interacted with likes you. And someone's going to point to me to that guy with the Falco head-shaped eyebrows that insulted Emilia during the royal selection, but come on, let's be real here. It's like a gay guy going to Pakistan and demanding to be part of the parliament. Not even the parliament, to rule the whole country. Frozen Bond also showed me how much season 2 tried to lie to me about her character. And her freezing the elves being the tragic aftermath from small Amelia's despair. Well, it turns out that was an absolute great thing. Because this black Alaskan bullworm jizz was caked into the ice. And if those elves weren't frozen, they would have been eradicated completely by that thing. Why? Why can't she be blamed for one little frickin' thing? Why is she always the victim? Someone who's a constant victim is annoying as hell in real life and in fiction, so why are people excusing this? In my overwhelming effort to push aside my annoyance, I turned to a friend who's deeper into the series than me, read the arcs from 1 to current, and interacts with the cornballs that make up the fandom. We're gonna call him Jamar Quabius. Yo, Jamar, yo!
So what the problem is, brother?
I'm a tourist and I'm gonna need a ReZero tour guide. He sent me 15 volumes that cover arc 1 to 4. I read it and all I have to say is this. Yeah, so the light novel ended my journey in trying to like Emilia. Is the author like obsessed with her or something. I know there's like favorite characters, but this is a little out there. Jesus Christ, favoritism in series is so annoying. It hurts my view on a character more because of it. The light novel also just reinforced my opinions about season 1 and season 2 when it came to Emilia. For Subaru, I did understand a little more why he loves Emilia, but it still feels contrived, especially when my friend explained to me in the regional games like Lost in Memories that have you explore other air routes. He just falls in love with Emilia no matter what, even if she didn't save him in the alleyway. He still ends up encountering her and doing the most. So if that's not suspicious things at work, I don't know what is. Since I watched and read the series pretty late into the game, only months before season 3 came out, I held off on reading Arc 5 just to see what they have in store. Looking at the advertising, what the? So, someone's been under the knife. So this is how Emilia formally got her name EMT. On a serious note, when I was watching season 3, it wasn't as thrilling as the first 2 seasons. It was basically gang battles in different areas of Pristella, and while I may watch shonen from time to time, I'm not a shonen girly, and the fights were dull and didn't grab my attention as much as I wanted it to. The only characters that made me not yawn was Capella from how bombastically cruel she was, Reinhardt's character and his relatable family issues, and Sirius for her entertaining brutality. It was also pretty obvious they were pushing Emilia in my face as well. She literally got the best of everything. Best animation, best fights, best scenes. But was it last season supposed to be her season? Seems like there was a mix-up. This season was the Amelia is best girl agenda, and it was certainly giving Kamala Harris type campaigning. That's not how things work. You can't nearly blind me with an individual in effort to get me to like them. The fact you have to put in this amount of effort already shows that you ain't all that. Emilia in season 3 was okay. She participated more, which is a given because the city is under attack and people are getting killed left and right. She'd be a doofus to just sit there. So people calling that character development is a mystery to me. Bleaching my mind pearly white from the agency I saw for her between arcs 1 and 3, like this series seems it wants me to, she definitely has more agency from the lack of it in arc 4. She tells Subaru not to count her out of stuff and gets right to business when it comes to defeating the threat. The dynamic with her and the wives weren't really a highlight, but I did see she tried to encourage them in a Subaru-like fashion. Her empathy towards them and her strong desire and wanting to help them was pretty nice. To be honest, her true highlights is her fighting capabilities that she showed off this season. Emilia does have hands. She has... The fuck? This is not cute at all. Look at Emilia. What a great character.
Bruh.
Oh, okay. Then Sung Jinwoo. Oh my god. She's the best character out there. Just incredible. He fights so badass. How can anyone not think he's the best? Mikasa, so physically strong and fights like a beast. The moment I saw her fight, I knew she was the greatest female character in all of anime. Such a manfully written, strong female character because she has hands. What absolute hell? Knowing how to fight doesn't make you a good character. Goku must be the end-all be-all of great character writing then. Well, at least Emilia gained confidence in showing her fighting capabilities. Not that she ever did lose confidence because she didn't in Arc 1 and in Frozen Bonds. Man, she must have trained really hard for her able to do all those stunts. What? Oh. Oh, okay. We probably could have gotten that from Frozen Bonds. Okay. Alright, I'll still tell them. So I was just informed by the MSI, the Mary Sue investigation, that she did not train hand-to-hand combat. She just knows. She knows how to kick, she knows how to punch, she knows how to do all those stunts without any type of training, without anyone showing her, without even seeing someone punch. She just knows without cause. She knows how to use a sword without training. Sorry, Wilhelm. She knows how to use a spear and whatnot without doing a motherfucking thing. It's all just intuition. And just to head back, at this point, the racism seems more of an informed attribute than a real problem, since all the relevant characters she interacts with treat her more than fairly. I know without a doubt anime onlys forgot she's supposed to be a victim of racism. The citizens also do not give a shit. We're supposed to be proud because she's proud walking around without her cloak, but this is all nonsense because she did it in art. This scene is cringe and random. Why are you suddenly yelling out that you hate him? Why did you do that? We could tell that you hate him. Why bring the already little tension in this scene to a screeching halt? Even Subaru had to tell her to shut the fuck up in his simp-like way and not antagonize the Archbishop who can rain holy hell water on you. Why are you even letting them talk, you damn cottonfield head ass? Not her forgetting about the person that was in her trial and aided the destruction of her childhood. Watching the I know who I'll marry scene, at least she acknowledges that leaving Subaru on red is kinda a dick move. Then why not just do something about it? A year and she couldn't put aside some time to try and understand. Everyone from sea to shining sea knows that Subaru loves Emilia, so if Emilia was actually serious about this, she would have at least asked Frederica. Like there's literally nothing stopping her from asking. Ram and Frederica chickened out on teaching her about sex, not love. And if anything, Emilia should be annoyed at this because she doesn't like people hiding or counting her out of stuff. But I guess that only kicks in when it comes to combat. The main thing the author uses to have people look her way anyway. At least now she knows babies don't come from kissing. And you're trying to make someone like this queen? Subaru is 100% running on hormones. Have you asked her about her goals and what she's planning to do to actually get there, Subaru? What she wishes to do for her discriminated demi-humans because, hello, she's a discriminated demi-human herself? It sounds like she's conditioning herself to fall in love with Subaru, like she must do it. I know this was supposed to be a nice, impactful speech to reinforce bleh Misuba, to showcase Emilia's growth and make Regulus look like a bigger jackass than he already is, but it just fell flat. I don't expect Emilia to be in love with Subaru at all. I love me a slow burn, but this just feels weird, mainly because this doesn't feel like an equal relationship. Subaru is doing most of the legwork in this relationship, like he's a comfy footstool. If Subaru's not initiating, then the relationship comes to stagnancy. All the cute moments people ramble on about, Subaru starts it. From what I've watched and read, Emilia rarely initiates or starts these banters. It's usually Subaru being cringe in his flirting and still praising her like he has before Arc 4, and Emilia being clueless or just going with the flow. It's all from Subaru's end. It's unbalanced. Subaru and Rem feel way more balanced, like they're equals, like they're in this together. They see each other's insecurities, acknowledge it, and build from there, covering each other's weaknesses while encouraging each other to improve on those weaknesses. I do not get this from Subaru and Emilia. It's just Subaru being Bob the Builder for Emilia's problems alongside carrying the relationship, and Emilia just being there to say, Baka, to his flirting. But he chose his lifestyle, so I guess that makes everything not matter. It's pretty asinine how people actually defend this part of the relationship. Because I know y'all wouldn't want to be in a relationship where you're pouring yourself into someone you absolutely love and they're not reciprocating or even attempting to. A lot of breakups happen because of situations like this. But somehow it's wrong to call this out? When did stringing someone along become romantic? ReZero's not the only offender of this in anime, by the way. I don't care if it's intentional or not. I don't care if Subaru says he'll wait. By per definition, she is stringing him along. She knows Subaru loves her. She knows it's not fair making him wait, but she also knows he won't leave her. So she feels like she has nothing to worry about. Made worse by Subaru confirming and affirming this mindset. Like, please, for the love of God, just reflect on it. Take out the waifuisms, take out the EMT, definitely take out the author bias. If a person is doing an action that they know is wrong, and they know that it hurts someone, but they keep doing it anyway, what does that make that person? Not nice in a million of people's books. It makes her come off as insensitive and selfish as fuck. I don't mind Emilia being selfish, really. The author does, though.
The excuse, oh, awful wasted, mentally stunted, so she doesn't know what love is,
Can only stretch for so long. Why can't Emilia start the banters, or Emilia plan a surprise for Subaru, or Emilia break some time away from studying to go to the market together with Subaru and have a fun day that's basically a date? Why can't Emilia feed Subaru like she did in Arc 2? Why can't Emilia try to style Subaru's hair and epically fail at it, but Subaru goes whatever because he's a simp? Why must the relationship only see motion when shit hits the fan?
My house is full of shit! He's shit everywhere!
Reading Art 5, it just proves me right, as even one of the characters pointing out not much has changed between her and Subaru. So the anime tried to put wax on a dirty hardwood floor. Off that subject, though the series has her do badass things in this arc and act more independent, is pretty much a petty demonstration compared to the concrete facts. Also, the fact that the author said this. He doesn't like to hurt her. No wonder you rarely see her get fucked up in any situation she's in, while everyone else has to bend and open wide. What the hell? She got her stomach sliced open at the beginning of Arc 1, yeah. You are an idiot! So what does every fictional work ever have to do at the beginning of their series? Tone setting. And don't give me that shit about her dying to Satella. That was a thing to push Subaru to the edge and to show the consequences of him breaking the taboo. This is a false sense of OP. How am I supposed to believe in her skills now? How am I supposed to believe in her fighting now, knowing that the author doesn't want her to get hurt? She won't get hurt or suffer any permanent consequences that could change her character. That's so motherfucking boring. You just ripped out the tension from any fight she has ever been in and will be in the future. Because I'll always know she'll be A-okay no matter what. The outcome will be beyond predictable. I don't have to worry whether she'll come out in one piece, which takes any emotion out of her fights. So, Emilia doesn't know the bird and the bees, cannot compromise her values, has shoehorned issues, is babied by the story, fan base, and author, and is surrounded by a needed amount of plot armor on top of the immediate plot armor she already has as the main heroine. Also is mentally stunted, which is unfortunately treated as a plus by the author. With how sheltered she is, you'd think, since Puck is MIA for now, she'd grow more aware of the world and working to improve like other candidates. Emilia supposedly just spends all her time studying, while all the other candidates are managing land and maintaining order and stability over the lives of hundreds of people. Though Subaru is a phenomenon on his own, the other candidates still have competent support like Emilia does and still run things and contribute to their own camp. So enlighten me, Emilia Cobblers. What is her excuse? On the subject of support, does Emilia truly have any? Roswell only views her as important because of gospel autism in Subaru. Beatrice didn't care about her at all until after Arc 4, and even then, if Subaru says he's done with Emilia, Bianca will go along with it. It's pretty obvious. Ron did gain newfound respect for Emilia after Arc 4, but I think it's fair to say she still listens and prioritizes Barisu more. Garfield only joined the camp because of Subaru, since similar to Beatrice, Garfield would abandon her depending on Subaru's stance. Petra views her as a love rival and started working at the mansion largely due to Subaru. Federica acts cordial with Emilia, but that's about it. She came because of Roswell and respects Subaru more. Otto does respect Emilia, but he joined because Subaru. Basically, it's the Subaru's camp. But I guess it's not an issue that the royal candidate who's trying to become ruler of their country can't lead her own subordinates and would ultimately just be a figurehead in her own camp. Just like in one of the Tragic If stories. Bad in that story, but somehow not bad in the main story. I can't take this character seriously, despite being in a series where things get serious quite fast. It's like she's running on shonen time while everyone else is on seinen, and that lack of equilibrium between her and other characters annoys me greatly. There has to be more to her aside from being kind, naive, and being a good fighter, because I can name many characters who are the same, but are handled way better. Maybe because they weren't explicitly born to be a cute waifu that everyone should love. Too bad that didn't work out. Cute. That is literally her existence. Look how cute I am. Aren't I cute? I'm doing things so cutely. That's all she is. Just something to look at until the plot reminds you, if it even cares to, that she has mysteries behind her that we should still look forwards to. No, Regulus, talk your entire shit. That's all she's for. I literally think the author doesn't care about her just being something to look at. Even though from arc 1 to 4, Luis told us not to do that. Like, she's really out here destroying her own arc. She proved Roswell and that albino cut right. Currently, I'm reading arc 6. And my opinion hasn't changed on her, probably gotten even worse, especially since it's blatant that the author is a weirdo who lets his personal feelings for the characters influence the events of the story. And the fans do not help at all. I don't like Emilia. I don't think I ever will. And if the series wants me to like her so bad, you gotta do something more than cute, nice, and badass fighter. And give her more consistent flaws. Not superficial flaws where it seems like she has, but those flaws don't affect her character in any negative way, or she doesn't get consequences from it. Consistent, like her being selfish. That's a good flaw. Let her be selfish. Her reason to be ruler is utterly selfish. She mentioned it is, but the story turns it as, no, you're noble for what you're doing. Or, oh, that's just her low self-confidence speaking. Wasted opportunity to show moral greatness of her being in this shit for personal legit reasons, not to really improve equality and better the country like she said. No, we must keep up the image of her being cute, innocent, and ideal. Like, just imagine a politician is campaigning for an important position, and once they win, they just go, I only did this because I needed sponsors to help my hometown. Good luck, though. People would be rightfully pissed. Are you gonna do anything about it? Do something. Do something to make her look bad. She can't always look good. Ugh. Okay, I'm closing this case file. Thank you so much for watching the video. I apologize greatly for not updating for 2 months, 3 months. But you know, life has been hectic and I'm definitely going to focus more on the outside than this, especially since I'm not generating any money from this as of yet. Please like and subscribe for more content. Hit that notification bell while you're at it. I already know who I'm going to target next, but if you guys have any suggestions of any other characters that really set you off, leave them in the comments and I'll deny each and every one of them. 3/4 joking. Keep yourself safe, watch ReZero, and hopefully find something you like about Emilia, unlike me, because this week is